Well, I'm showcasing a couple of things. First of all, two concepts about mobility. We recognise that, in fact, by about 2050, 68% of us will be living in cities. So we need to do something about urban mobility. one concept. But we also learnt that from a survey that about 65% of us, even then, will still want to get out of the cities at the weekends. So we're showcasing 1919, which is a concept about ultra comfort. It's 100% electric, 800 kilometres in terms of autonomy, and it is the ultimate in comfort, artificial intelligence, etc., etc. So you just literally get into this car. We're talking about a long way in the future. You get into this car and don't have to think any more about it.
That's one of the problems for me when you say a long way in the future. This is a car with fantastic range that's very comparable to the likes of Tesla, the range about just under 500 miles. Why is such a lag period in terms of possibly bringing this one to market when others are already on the market now with the car?
Well, in fact, there's two stages. At Citroen, we already have what we call an electrification strategy, which means we're already bringing electric cars to the market and plug-in hybrids. So that happens next year, and by 2025, 100% of our vehicles will have an electrified version. So we're exactly in the same way that Tesla, for example, is moving. But this is about thinking in the future. What could you imagine mobility could be? So we like testing ideas. So this is almost like an incubator of ideas. So it's not something because it's got technology on there, artificial intelligence, which manages the whole process from your home tells you that the roads are clear, you can start now. That sort of intelligence and that sort of technology is very much in the future, which we need to develop. So clearly that's the reason why. So you have a sort of difference between what's happening today, which is, of course, we're in the market, and then we're testing what could be the future.
Your company is a huge player in China, about 25+% of sales coming from that market, joint partnership with Dongfeng. I want to know the sort of trends you're seeing from the Chinese customer right now around autos, because there's been a big shift. They just wanted cars, they wanted luxury cars, they wanted SUVs. What type of cars do they now want for the future?
Well, like every other market, the biggest boom in China at the moment is SUVs. And they continue to want SUVs, but they're also very much becoming now into electric. They're moving straight into electric cars. So there's a big demand of Chinese customers is that, many years ago, manufacturers used to say, okay, we'll have a type of car for Europe and another one for China. That's gone now. Chinese consumers want a world car, they want the top technology, they want electric, but particularly they want connectivity. And if you go to any Shanghai Motor Show or wherever, what you will see now is the connectivity, the big screens. That's the real focus. So they're really into the digitalization of cars.
I'm curious about your learning curve around autonomous cars and AI, because China is seen as much more advanced in this sphere. Are you seeing that, and is there an exercise where you can glean information, you can learn, where the IP comes back towards Europe instead of the opposite pathway?
You're absolutely right. But having said that, from Citroen, which is part of the PSA group, which is a major group, we already have autonomous cars on the road. So we already have the technology. And indeed, if you know about autonomous, it comes in various waves. So as you get from wave 1, wave 2, and wave 4 is when we're totally minds off, brains off, feet off, everything else. And really that's going to be so expensive for many people that in fact it will be more for public transport. But our group is actually developing that technology up to wave 3, and indeed some of our vehicles already have wave 2 technology. So in fact we already are well ahead of the race. But you're right, I would say that the Chinese are very, very strong, particularly in this connectivity, artificial intelligence. But of course, we're present with a JV. We also have a research centre in China, as agreed across many of them, including India now as well. So clearly we try to glean as much information, but I wouldn't say that we're behind. We are, as I say, actually there are autonomous cars from PSA already on the roads.
When do you expect that fully hands-off type of model that you described, sit back, delegate the driving, you don't need a license? When do you think that's going to happen in Europe?
I mean, it's for me, it's 2030. But maybe I'll be wrong and maybe it's early, but I don't believe that's before 2030 because there's so much, not only about the object, there's so much of the infrastructure that has to be there. And of course, you have to understand that the reason for going for autonomous cars is, of course, it makes our lives easier and it makes them much safer. But you will have a mix of cars. So you need to understand the ethics, you need to understand how non-automated cars mix with automated cars. it's a complicated process. So I think 2030.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.